Good evening and welcome to another episode of Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, a program sponsored by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to update you on the happenings at the ministry and her agencies. The program this evening continues with a review of projects undertaken under the rural development component of the ministry with a focus on rural electrification projects in the northwest geopolitical zone of Nigeria. We shall also be looking at the impact of such projects with benefiting communities. I remain your regular anchor, Gabriel Ojile. Keep watching.
That will provide the necessary policy direction that will truly position agriculture as the mainstay of our economy.
The federal government is removing obstacles and offering opportunities for self-employment, wealth creation, and food security in the Nigeria's agricultural sector.
Think farming, think agriculture.
Watch Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria.
The program begins with news stories. Let's get informed on happenings out there as it concerns agricultural development in Nigeria. Stay tuned.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, in collaboration with the Bank of Agriculture, has commenced the process of granting soft loans to Nigerian livestock farmers. The sum of 5 billion naira has been approved for the takeoff of the loan scheme, which is geared towards supporting livestock farmers to achieve maximum output. Speaking at the unveiling of the scheme at the ministry, Managing Director of the Bank of Agriculture, Alhaji Alwan Ali Hassan, applauded the efforts of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the federal government for providing the opportunity in the livestock sector. He also speaks on the process and accessibility of the loan.
This program, the livestock sector financing that we intend to start very soon, has actually kick-started about 2-3 weeks ago, and we have virtually registered close to about 10 to 20,000 customers in our branches nationwide. The bank has about 110 locations across the country, and we advise the applicants to go to the nearest branch to them to register their names and obtain the application forms and go through the process. You don't have to leave Zaria to come to Kaduna. Neither do you have to leave Chudunwada and come to Kano, or maybe you leave Ogomosho and start going to Oshobo. We have branches in all these locations. So please tell your members to go to these locations and establish a relationship with the bank and request for the facility. My advice to the participant is that this is a loan. It's a capital for the bank. So please let them pay back as at when due. The bank has a credit policy and a credit process. We'll take them through that process and that program. Where we feel we need to advise them in terms of stakeholders' engagement and enlightenment, we will do that. We've started meeting with the associations. The first time we met with them was on a public holiday. We left Kaduna to come to Abuja to meet with them. This is how much we've taken this program into our exercise. We want to see that we grow it and we take it to a level where all of us will be happy with it. I appeal to the beneficiaries, like I mentioned earlier. If they repay back, it will be recycled to their other members.
Livestock farmers can access the loan from any of the branches of the Bank of Agriculture across the country with strict adherence to the guidelines outlined. In recognition of the importance of the dairy sector and its contribution to the health and wealth of citizens, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, in collaboration with the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and the Commercial Ranchers Association of Nigeria, Kodaran, is set to mark the World Milk Day 2023. The event, which is set for the 1st of June 2023, will be commemorated with a series of activities including a public lecture and exhibition. Representative of the President of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce as well as that of Kodaran, in their various speeches during a press conference, both highlighted the importance of the dairy sector and the significance of the World Milk Day.
Through the Central Bank of Nigeria's backward integration, the dairy sector was revitalized and has attracted foreign investment and the creation of ranches across the country. This celebration will be a two-day event with the first day, the 31st of May 2023, playing host to over 20 selected public and private schools, and the second day will be the conference for stakeholders in the dairy industry, while the exhibition will run throughout the event at the Abuja Trade and Convention Center of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry. At the ACCI, we serve as a voice for the business community and also provide a platform for policymakers and the organized private sector to interface and map out practicable ways to implement policies, making this event very important, especially at a time like this when we are having a new administration.
We intend to continue with these collaborations in the future, and I would use this opportunity to call on all commercial dairy producers and ranchers in Nigeria to rally around the federal government through the Ministry of Agriculture to really impact the sector so we can have a very competitive and productive dairy sector in Nigeria where we are self-sufficient in milk production.
World Milk Day was introduced in the year 2001 by Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations to recognize the importance of milk as a global food to accelerate the growth of the dairy sector.
1 hectare of land, the production cost we spend not more than 250 per hectare. And on that 1 hectare, we were able to see 35 to 40 metric tons per hectare. 1 metric ton of cassava per hectare is 50,000. If you realize 35 tons of cassava per hectare and you sell it each ton 50,000, that 50,000 multiplied by 35.
Welcome back, and if you are just tuning in, you are watching the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria. In line with its objective to increase food production in Nigeria as well as improve the living standard and economic fortunes of the Nigerian populace, particularly rural dwellers, the Nigerian government through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has implemented social infrastructural development projects across the country. We shall be reviewing rural electrification projects in the Northwest geopolitical zone. Don't go away.
To actualize its mandate of rural development and enhancing the lives and well-being of Nigerians living in rural areas, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development embarked on the provision and installation of solar-powered street lights across the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. In the Northwest geopolitical zone, quite a number of these solar-powered streetlight projects were executed and which have added value to the benefiting communities. In Kano State, the projects include the provision and installation of 15 units of solar-powered streetlights in Ubakarawa community in Gabasawa local government. The streetlights were positioned at strategic places in the village for maximum utilization. Other such projects in Kano are provision and installation of 65 units of solar-powered streetlights at Zakere, Bachirawa, Layin Madugu and Larabawa communities in Gabasawa Ungogo local government. Provision and installation of 27 units of solar-powered streetlights at Tarauni community in Tarauni local government area. The installation of these streetlights was spread across different communities in the local government. Provision and installation of 45 units of solar-powered streetlights in some parts of Kano municipal local government, which were also installed at strategic points in the community, among several others. Engineer Yusuf Jafar from Kano State Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development shed more light on these projects and how the solar-powered street lights work.
That brought into Dambata Mokoda Community, Federal Constituency, and supervised by Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. I'm the engineer that supervised the work. The work was implemented and done accordingly based on the specification there in the bill of quantity. The work is like that. You can see the signpost. It speaks all the project, entire the project. Provision and installation of 36 units of solar street light Dambata Mokoda Federal Constituency project. Here are the street lights. This is one of it.
When was the project? When was the commencement and the completion of the project?
The project was commenced last year, 2020, October 2020, and it is 3 weeks project. They finish ending October 2020, and the street lights are all functional. We have supervised them; they are all functional. Now, the mode of operation of the street lights is it is charging during the daytime from 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is charging according to the availability of the sunlight. Then after 6 o'clock, when the sun goes off, the solar light will come on, and it lights the environment till 6 a.m. in the morning. And it is very bright in nature, and the community people are enjoying the brightness of the light. The poles are installed at interval, some 2 kilometers apart, some in the mosque, some inside the corner of the community. And it is installed based on the decision of the community people. That is it.
Some members of the benefiting communities speak on the benefits the solar-powered street light projects have brought to their communities and businesses.
This solar is very important and more reliable than NEPA light.
In Katsina State, the following solar-powered street light projects were executed. Provision and installation of 88 units of solar-powered street lights at Zango communities in Zango local government area. The street lights were installed at strategic places in the communities. Other projects include provision and installation of 90 units of solar-powered street lights in Funtua Dandutse communities in Funtua local government. Provision and installation of 14 units solar-powered street lights at Karkarku community in Ingawa local government. These were also strategically installed across the community. Engineer Muazu Daudawa from the Katsina State Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development speaks on the solar-powered street lights project and how it works.
Charges of this solar system, whenever the light or sun is available, then they will, after around 6 o'clock, they will see that the light is lighting.
Some members of the benefiting communities speak on the significance of these projects to their communities.
We thank this government for remembering us with this solar. It is really a development. We thank God. We had been facing security challenges such as armed robbery and housebreaking before the installation of this solar. But now all these have become history.
The solar-powered streetlight projects done in Jigawa by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development include provision and installation of 36 units of solar-powered streetlights in Birnin Kudu and Buji communities in Birnin Kudu local government, provision and installation of 36 units solar-powered streetlights in Kazaure-Yankwashi communities in Kazaure and Yankwashi local governments. The State Coordinator and Assistant Director of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in Jigawa State, Alhaji Mustafa Ibrahim Anka, speaks on the solar-powered streetlight project and its importance to the benefiting communities.
Is to be able to make their environment, habitable. This will prevent them from migrating from one place to another. And if they should be able to have a better environment, they should be able to stay.
Some members of the benefiting communities also spoke.
There are lots of developments outside this solar.
Before the installation of this solar, I was using generator throughout the night to do my business, but now I'm okay with this solar.
Every part of Nigeria has something to offer.
Welcome back as we continue with a review of rural electrification projects in the Northwest geopolitical zone undertaken by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Projects in Sokoto, Kaduna, Zamfara and Kebbi states are next in our lineup. Stay tuned.
Sokoto State, otherwise known as the seat of caliphate, also benefited from solar-powered street light projects. They include provision and installation of 45 units of solar-powered street light in strategic locations at Dogondaji community in Tambuwal local government. Engineer Bafashi Mohammed from Sokoto State Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development speaks on the solar-powered street light projects.
The reason for bringing this solar street light in Dogondaji town was these people in Dogondaji, apart from farming, they also go on commercial marketing. You can see them, if you sight in different locations, their market, this street light on this market road. Many people are using it in the night to sell their agri-produce and other things in the night. And where some are sited in schools also, they use it to educate the youths in the night time. Before, when they don't have that one, they have to use generator to power their light, which is a lot of spendings there. But now they are not using gen again. They are only using the solar light and to educate the children on other part at schools.
Community dwellers comment on the intervention.
We are happy with this security light because it has prevented criminals from operating in the night.
In Kaduna State, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development also did some solar-powered streetlight projects, which include provision and installation of 35 units all-in-one solar street light at NDC Ungwerkaji communities in Igabi local government. Provision and installation of 21 units of solar-powered street lights at Kagarko town in Kagarko local government. Provision and installation of 40 units of solar-powered street lights at Makarfi Road in Kachia local government, among others. Solar-powered street lights projects in Zamfara state include the provision and installation of 45 units of solar-powered street lights at Kwata community in Gusau local government. Like in every other state and communities, the street lights were spread across different parts of the community. Engineer Bilyaminu Ahmed from Zamfara State Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development speaks further on this street lights project.
Our farmer, they cannot afford NEPA bill, they cannot buy fuel for their generator. That's why we bring this technology to them. With this solar, they can do all their business. We have panel here that you can even charge your handset and do so many other things there.
Some members of the benefiting community speak on how the solar-powered street light project has been beneficial to their community.
This school had serious light problem before the installation of this solar. We were using all kinds of rechargeable lamps to get light, but now All these problems are over as a result of this solar.
The story is the same in Kebbi State, where solar-powered streetlight projects were implemented across the state. Some of these projects in the state include provision and installation of 35 units of solar-powered street lights at Kauje Illo Road and Kauje Gante Road in Bagudu local government. Provision and installation of 16 units of solar-powered street lights at Kauje community in Bagudu local government.
As you can see, there's a foundation, there's a stand, and there's a solar component. Foundation is nothing other than to provide the base, because without having a solar base, there's no how possibly it can withstand. And for this one, it's also a stand that at least the solar panel will hook to provide the light. Actually, when the sun rises, definitely it will recharge. It will recharge. As soon as the sun is sunset, it will automatically on itself by bringing sunlight. You understand? So approximately it's ranging from 10 to 11 hours.
Some members of the benefiting community speak on the project and impact on their lives.
So due to our constitution here, some of our people, or let me say our children, they have stolen our goods sometimes. Due to this solar system, that one does stop it.
Every part of Nigeria has something to offer.
There are similar projects across other geopolitical zones of the country executed by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development that have impacted positively on the lives and well-being of Nigerians. We shall remind you of them in our subsequent edition of the program. Keep a date with us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting episode. Bye for now.